We're just getting started. Welcome everyone to Portland Cocktail Week Distance Learning. I am so excited to be back in 2021. My name is Anne Louise Marquis. My pronouns are she and her. I am coming to you from California. I'm on the West Coast, so it's a little bit sunnier here, right here in the morning. And it is a pleasure to be back. And with me today is my guest, Tondi Walton. She is, and hi, say hello.
Hi, everybody.
So I'm really excited to learn from Tondi today. She is a cocktail thinker, drinker, maker. She is head bartender at the Four Seasons at Bar Margot at the Four Seasons. She is looking to curate your palate. She's a level 2 sommelier. And she is all about sensory education for people. So today we are talking about tacos and tequila and how to pair them. And since we're talking about tequila, we're going to use tequila Espolón as our example. So Tondi, why don't we just give us a little bit about yourself? I just gave you an intro. We know what you do and you know a little bit about who you are, but can you tell us a little bit more?
Hi, everybody. My name is Tondi Walton. I am a bartender. I like to say that sometimes, but I create, I craft alcohol experiences. I change palates by the bar stool at a time, one bar stool at a time. That's all I need. I'm passionate about the craft of alcohol, specifically tequila. I love the tequila. I love the agave. I have 2 daughters. And I have 4 grandbabies that are so super, super, super. They do all that for me. So if there was a way to have the grandbabies without the daughters, that would be so perfect, right?
I think my mom feels the same way, similarly. Yes.
I can send them back whenever, you know what I mean? So, yes. But besides all that, I'm a lover of all things positive, all things new, continuous learning, and just staying positive. It's been harsh out here, and that one simple smile, one simple hello, one simple hug, and I care for you. I'm here for you. It means a lot in these times. So.
I just want to sit at your bar. That sounds like such a nice experience. Like I mean, I'm getting it from the internet, but I want to have it in real life. Oh, so soon. So, and what city are you based in?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. ATL.
Nice. So, I just like to position us on the planet because I feel like so often we're like all in different places, and it's nice to think of like here I'm in California, you're in Atlanta, but because we have this opportunity, we get to meet and talk to each other. And I get to learn some more. So how did you fall in love with the agave spirit world? Like what is it that you're drawn to for that? Like because of that?
Delicious. It's delicious.
Okay, that's enough.
It's the only spirit that I can actually dabble in and wake up just fine and actually enjoy my time, and I don't feel that drag, it's fruit, so when I drink tequila, I feel I'm excited. This is all working, everything is working, you know what I mean? I feel great about myself with it. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong, put it that way, because I feel like I'm drinking something natural. That's what I tell myself. Okay.
Yes. It is. I mean, we know yes, it's natural. It's made from plants.
Yeah.
And you just you've a draw to it. You like it. It works for you. You like making drinks with it.
It works for me. I mean, Blanco is so versatile and sexy. Okay. What else can I say? You got Repo.
No, that's good.
If I just want to have just a sip, I'm sipping and doing work, and it doesn't overcome me or overwhelm me per se. And it's a great spirit just to have friends over, girlfriends, drinking and talking about life and building together. So that's why I'm drawn to the agave.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Today we're going to talk about pairing tacos and tequila. So we're going to dive a little bit into your expertise on that. But first, we wanted to just share a couple talking points about Espolòn, each of the marks as we go. So we're going to do 3 Espolòn marks, and then you're going to talk about the tequilas you would pair with them. Okay. So the first one we're talking about today is Espolòn Blanco. So Espolòn is a Highlands tequila. It's made in Jalisco. It's made from 100% Blue Weber agave. We are kind of a light, spicy, citrusy tequila, kind of black pepper, citrus forward tequila that's made with a blend of pot still and column still. So we wanted to create something that was really flavorful, but also approachable and accessible to people. So the other thing about Espolòn that's kind of great is that we're at a really great price point. So you can get 100% Blue Weber agave tequila. You're not getting something cut, but it's at a price point that you can afford to put it in your well or afford to, buy the bottle and bring it home and make cocktails at home. And it's not going to break the bank. So it's one of those tequilas, like it's kind of its own special place in the market for that. It's the Blanco that you're going to taste that we're going to talk about first. It's so silly. It's so strange to talk about things and not be able to taste them together. So I really do look forward to coming to Atlanta and sitting at your bar and doing this with you live, in person one day. But the Blanco, I find for me with the Espolòn is that it's light, it's citrusy, it has that black pepper, it has a little bit of grilled pineapple on it. And to me, tequila has like a gentle nuttiness to it. So with the Blanco, it's less nutty. As we get into the more aged characteristics, we'll see more of that like nuttiness, caramel come through. But with this one, it's just like very elegant with a clean finish. So that's Espolòn Blanco. What would you pair Espolòn Blanco with?
So first off, there are no hard rules in this pairing, tequila with tequila cocktails per se. But there are 2 guiding principles, mirroring and contrasting. And mirroring is basically echoing like elements, simple dishes with simple dishes, complex dishes with complex dishes. Right? Contrasting is basically playing culinary Cupid, everybody has different like taste buds, so what may taste good to me paired with this may not taste good to the other person, right? So with my Blancos, especially as Espolòn, I do like a nice crisp fish taco with fresh, but being that Blanco is so fresh and the pineapple feel, the citrusy feel. So anything, especially with ingredients with lime or orange, is going to pair very well. Ingredients with fresh herbs, especially coriander, is going to pair very well. Some vegetables like asparagus, tomatillos, green pepper, and I would say avocado, hence guacamole, right? But
I'm so hungry now. Oh, okay. Sorry, you're talking my language. I'm vegetarian too. So these are all like my flavors, like fresh vegetable, avocado. Yeah, I love what you're saying. When you say coriander, do you also mean like the spice or do you also mean like cilantro?
The spice and the cilantro. I mean, you do get, the tomatoes with with fresh squeezed lime and cilantro mixed all together to top a fish taco, pico de gallo, all those fresh things. So when I think Blanco, I think everything fresh and crisp, So you notice that, sometimes, some of you are actually like on this pairing thing, you are all on it because you go to these bars and you go, hey, can I get a shot of tequila and some French fries, right? So that's hand-cut potatoes with salt already, right? So you shooting your tequila or you sipping your Blanco and you're eating some fries. Why does that go together? I ask. Because you have the potatoes and you have the salt. And Blanco just takes on very well. So you don't need no rim on your glass for the salt because you already have the salt, right?
Right.
So I also would go for nachos with a nice margarita. Dave, can we get that slide for the margarita? Perfect. So on a nice sunny day in California, in ATL, what we do, we sit outside on the patio and we enjoy some nice chicken tacos, right? No, nachos. made that mistake. Nachos with a little sour cream, a little guacamole, some pico de gallo, some lettuce, all those fresh ingredients, and you're sitting outside and enjoying with your tequila. That pairs very well on a sunny day. Um, I also will recommend some tostadas, some fried shrimp tostadas with fresh cabbage, red cabbage, with a little squeeze of lime over. Goes very well. It's palate pleasing. You would thank me later, trust me. Um, ceviche. Ceviche goes so well with Blanco tequila because you have that limeness and the fresh ceviche, and you have anything that you can think that you basically order that you can squeeze a lime over. Think of Blanco at all times. It pairs so well, be palate pleasing. Um, you can also go for a spicy margarita, that will pair very well with some jerk chicken tacos, and that's a spicy margarita, just a little jalapenos in there and just model just slightly, not too overly spicy, but some jerk chicken tacos will go so well. And you say, I love jerk chicken. Okay. So off the grill, on the grill, oven, make some jerk chicken tacos, some lettuce over, some pico de gallo. You are on the roll. Don't forget the avocados though.
Okay. So like what I'm hearing is light, citrus forward, maybe fresh or raw things. So like ceviche, fresh vegetables, or things that have a lot of spice to them, like jerk chicken, or like maybe like a fire dusted something, like anything that has like heat and spice. And then you can either go neat. Oh my God, that looks so good. I'm vegetarian and that looks good. So like,
those were lobster. Those were Chef India's lobster tacos with the raspberry pearls over. With quite with cilantro over and an avocado puree that she did. That was super awesome. And that went very well, paired very well with a regular margarita. I also did like a salt, like playing with your salts for your margaritas actually plays a part in your flavor as well.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
So if you take like cucumbers and dehydrate your cucumbers and then mix a little sugar, a little salt, blend, boom, rim it, that's flavor as well. That enhances your experience with your Blanco. You can do hibiscus flower. Take a dry hibiscus flower. Same way, sugar and more salt, and then blend all that together, rim your glass. That's going to elevate your taste with the Blanco in your tacos as well at the same time.
Oof, that sounds delicious. Okay, so using salt, building like flavored salt sounds great. So you do cucumber, but you could also do do you ever do other flavors?
I've done cucumber, hibiscus. What else have I done? I have the black salt, but I would dry it with, I'll squeeze lime over it and let it dry in a dehydrator.
Ooh,
so that way, and then you rim your glass with that. But you can experiment and try anything. There's no limits, no bounds to the salt game, It's like the cocktail game.
I love that. So pairing Blanco, because it does have that citrusy, peppery taste with the Blanco, with the salt, really opens up the flavor and really makes something kind of like light and crisp is kind of what we're going for. Is something that pairs well with these kind of like bold, fresh flavors.
Yes.
Awesome.
Will make your day.
Ooh, yummy. Okay. Oh man.
Oh, don't forget fish tacos though. Don't forget the fish tacos with the
How could I? Tell me more. What do you mean?
I mean, you have to have like a fried fish taco or a grilled fish taco with fresh vegetables of your choice over your taco, but you must got to make sure you have tomatoes. You got to make sure you have that lime squeeze. The lime squeeze is what makes it, okay? Lime squeeze, and then just hold that baby and just delicious, and sip your tequila with it. You can do tequila on the rock, Blanco on the rocks, a splash of soda, perfect with fish taco. On the rocks. Well, let's not forget having a Paloma with the citrus and a fresh taco. Amazing. Like the citrus from the Paloma, it just blends so well with the agave, and it blends so well with whatever taco that you're having. Maybe fried fish, fried chicken. What else? Pulled chicken. That will actually like blend very well, but you also have to make sure you have your pico de gallos, your salsa, your chilies to go along with. Can't ever forget that.
Okay, what else for Blanco? Before we move
Um,
into the other ones, and then we talk a little bit more about cocktails. What else? What else for Blanco? And actually, that brings up a good point. So when you do Blanco, you've mentioned a few. So you've mentioned the Paloma. Oh, sorry.
mhm,
Let me go back. So you've mentioned sipping
margarita.
neat. You
Mhm,
talked about like in a shot or like shot kind of sipper or like on the rocks, Blanco on the rocks, maybe with a little bit of salt. And
mhm.
then you also mentioned the margarita and the Paloma as two cocktails you might recommend for the Blanco. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And those you're saying like kind of pair well with these flavor profiles for these tacos.
The flavor profiles from the Blanco itself being so versatile, it goes so well with, the flavors that you have. You got to have a little bit of salt. You got to have a little citrus. You got to have freshness is the main thing. You got to have fresh ingredients to let this, the tequila, the agave come through and just bless your palate.
And then I love what you said in the very beginning too. I think that's a great way, especially when you're new to pairing. Is this, are we complementing or are we contrasting? Are we playing like, and this culinary Cupid was such a great way to phrase that. I love that that idea of like, how are we going to like team these two up in a way that people might not expect, but they're going to love each other.
Hmm.
Do you have any other kind of tips or tricks in that when you're thinking about doing a food pairing with alcohol?
I would say, try it once because there are no rules, right? Try it once, and if it does not work, it might work for somebody else. So you always, when I build these cocktails and try to pair with food, I get somebody else involved. So I try another palate because my palate may be off that day and your palate may be sharp that day, right? So you get somebody else involved, they taste along with you, and boom, if two minds, two palates collide, it's like, woo, you know.
It's good to have a tasting or a testing buddy, someone that you trust that has a very, like Jasmine and I do this a lot together where we have very different palates. And so we work together when we make a drink. And if we both go, or like, we know the other one, like mine tends ice cube sweet, she skews dry. And so when we work on things together, we find a drink that's kind of right in the middle. Or that we know to warn people, like, this is an Anne Louise drink, or this might be, this might be a little bit dry for you. So I think that's really a good tip, is to work with somebody and collaborate as you go. Do you have somebody? Do you want to do a shout out? Is there someone you work with a lot?
Um, I would like to shout out my old partner, Tokyo Asias. She was my ultimate pairing cocktail creator and partner, And now I like to also shout out my chef on Tandy Tuesday, the chef in Pearls. She has a palette like no other. And also my song teacher, Kevin. Kevin has taken my palette to another level. So
Oh, so
yeah.
cool. So that's so cool. We could do a whole other class about wine, but okay. So we're focusing on tequila today. So, okay. So, and then do you have any other cocktails you recommend? You said the margarita and the Paloma. Do you do any kind of like fun margarita variations that you might want
I
to
mean,
mention?
it's always all the fruit in the world that's available. You got your cucumber margarita. You got your strawberries. You got your blackberries. Cilantro. You have anything you can find in the grocery store. Melons. Spotted be watermelon season. So watermelon margaritas are actually excellent for the patio. Most people want to go with the sugar on the rim. I've never been a sugar on the rim girl for some reason. I kind of like if it's sweet, I want that sweet sour balance. So I still request a little salt on my rim, just one side, not the whole rim. Um, so you play with it, just play with whatever fruit is in season, whatever vegetable you feel comfortable making a margarita with. You know, like I say, Blanco is very versatile. So why deprive it of the greatness?
I love that. Let's never deprive Blanco of the greatness. Okay, so now let's move into Reposado. So it's had some resting, it's had some time on oak. I believe that's what you have in front of you in your bottle on your screen.
Mhm.
So Espolon Reposado has been aged about 2 months, a minimum of 2 months. And one of the things that's interesting, so all Espolon starts its life as the same liquid. So this is pretty consistent for tequila. We don't do like a different blend just for Reposado. So we make the tequila and then we use, but we do the same process. So it's always the same process to create the tequila. And then we take this tequila and we put it into barrels. So our master blender, unfortunately, very sadly passed away last year. Cirilo Oropeza, he was an incredible man. He had an incredible vision. He created Espolón with so much love and passion and a desire to create a tequila that would make his family, his father, and his country proud. So I'm always really proud to sell Espolón because of him and the stories he had and held and the integrity and love he put into making Espolón. So we miss him. And it's weird for me to tell these stories in the past in the way that I used to tell them in the present. So I'm still getting used to it. So Cirilo, when he was making Espolón, when they were developing the product, he really wanted to create something that felt truly authentic to Mexico and not integrating flavors from somewhere else. So when he decided to do the aged variations, he insisted that for the reposado that we use new oak barrels. So typically in the production of spirits, with bourbon uses new make barrels, and then no one else does that. Everyone else uses the old bourbon barrels because they're required to use them once and then ship them away. So anywhere you go in the world, if they're aging spirits, I mean, there's some portion of that is probably in used American bourbon barrels. But Cirilo didn't want to do that for Espolón. He wanted to put them in new oak barrels so that there wasn't any influence of whiskey in any way into the product. And so when you have Espolón Reposado, you know that it's been aged on new oak. Not new every time, not like whiskey, but we're using barrels that have never had whiskey in them. So that's kind of the main talking point about Reposado. And then on the bottle, you can see the artwork. Since you have it there, you can see it. It's the marketplace. So each of the labels of Espolón tells the story of some kind of moment in history in Mexico through artwork inspired by Jose Guadalupe Posada, who was a artist and lithographer who lived around the time of the Revolution. So this artwork on the bottle that you can see is the marketplace. So you see kind of a typical turn of the century marketplace scene on the bottle. Anyway, so that's Reposado. I could talk about it for a while, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to start to ask you now, Reposado pairings. What do you go for? What's your go-to?
So first off, the artwork on the bottle, it so takes me back to my country.
Oh, really?
Yes, the farmers market. We have local markets in my country where it's not just, the market is just the farmers. It's just, I'm going to position right way. Don't wait.
Towards you, closer towards you. There you go. Do you mind sharing the country you're from?
Zimbabwe.
When did you leave, or do you go? What, you came here as a kid? Yeah,
I was born and raised.
Okay.
Secondary school, which is high school, all that. Then I came to America in 1989. So I've been here about 31 years, going on 32 this year, something like that. Yeah, my mom's here, so hence I'm here. But the markets at home is every day. Like you go around the corner, not only you have fresh fruit trees in your backyard, vegetables and all that stuff, right? But you also have these markets that are just around the corner. And when you go there, you see women with buckets, on their heads with the babies on their back and balancing all that stuff out. So this just actually took me back, looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's like everything going on in the market. And I don't have to wait for Saturday to go to the farmer's market. It was an everyday thing. So that just resonated like the
little moment of home and memory.
Of course. But talking about Reposado, in particular, Espolón, with the new barrels, to me, the first thing that comes in mind is like it's going to have wider notes. So you have to try to activate the undertones and with not too spicy foods per se. So I would definitely go for smoked food, smoked chicken, smoked. I would definitely go beef as well because it can hold the weight. Thank you, Dave. That was on point. And reposado also goes well with corn. So grilled corn and you slice that corn on top. It's amazing. Little sauces that can go very well over the beef. I actually will go maybe oxtail, maybe just a little bit because it could handle. And I know you're like vegetarian. You're like, wait a minute.
No, it's okay. I speak meat. I don't eat it, but I've worked in restaurants my whole life. Everyone around me eats everything. I'm just the one. I was raised vegetarian, so I've never had it. So, but I can connect with you on it anyway.
Understood. So smoked chilies, smoked tomatoes, serrano, duck, smoked duck,
Ooh.
would just pair very well with the reposado. Like one of the shows last 2 weeks ago, we had Chef Robert Butts, who's like a duck war, taco wars. It was duck. The protein was dark, and he made a smoked duck taco with a bourbon glazed cabbage or some sort. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if you could do that, the barrels, you can do a glaze with the reposado on your cabbage just to enhance and pull those flavors, to pair very well with a great. With the reposados with me, I love reposado Sazeracs. I love,
Ooh.
yes, I do. Um,
The absinthe with that's interesting. I've never heard that before. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I tried it once, one of the shows. It was just so beautiful, and I had to do it over again. Just the little smell of absinthe and just the bitters, the aromatics. It just pairs so well with me with the duck tacos per se, and also Mexican mules with reposado. Awesome on a sunny day, not too heavy, just medium. You still have those slight woody flavors to complement the ginger, and the ginger beer as well. So pork, grilled pork, pulled pork tacos, awesome with reposado all day long. You could do steak burger. Steak burger would be so good. Or burgers in general. I would separate it, steaks and burgers.
This is taco time. We're talking burgers now?
And now I'm just plugging it in, just saying you can have a burger taco.
Okay, burger taco. Okay, it's like a ground beef taco. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. We're off topic. Wait, what are you saying? So you're saying like a ground beef, like a burger beef taco.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it will pair very well. You pair very well.
So
Rhonda and more complex. It's more Rhonda, more complex. So it pairs well with, like I said, anything not too spicy. I would not go too spicy. I would just go medium spicy and smoked food. And also I would recommend a smoked paloma. I say the smoked paloma, I mean a paloma earlier on, but a smoked paloma would be so great. By that I mean grilling your grapefruit and grilling your limes.
Ooh. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's cool. Do you do that? Like you set them out on the grill and then get them all smoky? I've never seen that. And then you juice them and they taste smoky?
Yeah, you have that little smoky feel to it. And also I have a friend that smokes Pam. She smokes everything. Okay. So one time she smoked everything. She smoked a watermelon for me. And it was and I did like a smoked watermelon margarita. It was awesome.
And so for that, you would use reposado.
Of course.
Because you're going smoked. So I love that kind of, you have some like kind of guidelines. So like for Blanco, we're going salty and fresh. And for reposado, we're moving into smoke and more like, almost like more fatty, flavorful things, like kind of heavier, weightier things like duck, beef, pork. Anything else for reposado? Any other tips, tricks?
Just experiment. I've only experimented the things I've talked about. I kind of experimented with the pulled pork, which I'm not a pork lover, but I've tried because I have to try. It doesn't really like me. But grilled pork
doesn't like you. I like that saying. Like doesn't like you.
Yeah, it just doesn't like me. I grew up on other stuff, and so my system can't really partake and play with pork very well, and I accept that.
It's okay.
But I would say grill some vegetables too. Grill some asparagus on the grill. Anything that you can pretty much get some smoke in it, you can actually pair with reposado. It just pulls those undernotes, all that from the barrel aging. It all comes together in your mouth, and your palate will explode. Just try it. You will love it. And thank me later once again.
Okay, so are you ready to move into añejo?
Yes, let's.
Okay, so for añejo, we're going to talk about Espolón añejo. don't have a bottle with me. I apologize. I should. So añejo is rested. It means a year. You guys know that by now, probably after all these sessions at Portland Cocktail Week, extended learning. So we have rested about a year. So for us, we're rested at least 12 months. It kind of depends on the weather and how things have been affected, but about 12 months, at least 12 months. Sorry, also my light keeps going out and I keep trying to fix it and I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. There we go. So with these, we do the first 10 months in that new American oak, like I said, we do for the Reposado. But then the last 2 months we take out of those barrels and we put into former bourbon barrels because we want to get a little more spice, a little more heat, a little more like complexity and character, more caramel flavor into the tequila. So that's kind of the difference when we talk, as we go through, comes off the still, it's Blanco, it's just fresh. We put it in a barrel, we let it sit for 2 months. You get some of those characteristics, a little bit of spice, a little bit of, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of like, we usually describe it like a pineapple on a grill. And like, it's starting to get a little bit of the char. And then with añejo, it's like fully grilled pineapple. It's oh my God, so delicious. And then for me, I really taste like a lot of nuttiness in the añejo as well. A lot of like body and nuttiness and character in there that I really like to use personally for like stirred drinks. So I'll use the añejo or like as a sipping tequila. But I'm really excited to hear what you do with it and how you pair that with tacos.
Okay, so añejo, my love.
Is this your love? Is this your favorite?
Of course.
Oh, I don't know. Blanco's my favorite, so I don't.
You see my smile different.
I did. I saw your whole face light up, and I loved it. But it's just I didn't know.
Because those are my relaxing days. That means I'm not worried about anything. I'm just chilling, right?
Okay.
And you're not supposed to rush añejo because it's not rushed, So you have to take your time, feel it, create a relationship at that time, go together for a minute, So it's highly aromatic. And, with like sweeter sensations due to the oak I get from me. So you can go bolder with the pairing with this one, So since it has more character, it holds feet with grease, right? So fatty meats, red meats of any kind, short rib, cooked overnight, sauce falling off.
Long braises.
Yeah, long braises, filet, all that stuff, spicier sauces, and more complex flavors. So you can get away with doing, like I said, more so oxtail tacos than I would recommend more for. I did say oxtail for the reposado. You can get away with that as well, but you can also get away with more so with the añejo, with the oxtail, and I also would throw in a tuna tartar taco on a seaweed shell. Delicious.
And for that, you would go añejo.
I would go añejo.
Okay, why is that? Why is that different from like a ceviche?
So I have a chef that actually fried a seaweed shell.
Oh, okay. So it's super salty, umami.
Yes. But I mean, it could also go with Blanco, of course, right? But the boldness of the flavors, this is contrast, right?
Right.
Mirroring and we contrast. This is contrast for me. So I would just take the añejo on a king ice and sip it and have a tuna tartar, like a tuna, did I say tuna tartar? Tuna tartar taco in a seaweed shell with little soy sauce and seaweed salad in it, and just enjoy and sip. That goes well for my palate. Okay, so it may not go well for you, so you can try this with Blanco, but I tried it with añejo. It was quite awesome.
I love that idea. That sounds so. I mean, I want to eat a seaweed shell. That sounds so good.
It was delicious. I can't stop thinking about it until that day I tried it. So I can't get no more. You got
to do that party again. So big, long braises, maybe even something with like a wine braise or something like heavier. I'm understanding like oxtail.
Heavier, short rib. Just go bold, like just anything that's heavy. You consider as heavy and fatty. Will pair so well with añejo because it would just balance out. The citrus will cut through. The oak, and it just goes all together in this one fabulous meaty, bold flavors all together in one. And some flavors like orange, plum, Granny Smith apples, butter, almonds, chocolate, caramel,
Ooh.
charred, any charred products. You say charred apple, pineapple,
Yeah.
very well, right? And light grease would be good to pair with a nail all day long. But more so chocolate, dark chocolate.
I was going to pick up on that. So I'm glad you said it. So yeah, I was going to say dark chocolate is so delicious and such a fun flavor. I know mole is such a, flavor in Mexican cooking. Also, like mole bitters put into your cocktail could be so delicious, or like a little bit of like chocolate, like cacao nibs, included in your slaw or whatever. It could be so yummy and kind of bitter and chocolatey with all of these flavors. Sounds delicious.
Very much so. And I've tried the chocolate is my to go to. Almonds I'm to go to. And so of course an old fashioned with a nail all day long. If you just, so I hate to mix it with anything. I just feel like the way it is the way it should be left alone, right? So neat pour, sip it, and king ice. Just let the ice will melt gradually and slowly, won't impart the flavor of the anero. So just enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's hard because we have so much to say about tequila, like cocktails, when we talk about Blanco, and then we have like more to say. We talk about Repo, and we get to Añejo, and we're like, no, just drink it. Like, there are great cocktails that you can do, and absolutely, and so many variations on classic, like whiskey cocktails or rum cocktails you could do with tequila. But I love your point that just sip it, enjoy it. Maybe an old fashioned, maybe like a little bit of bitters, but you don't really need to do that. When you do like a pop up, I feel like there might be some kind of pressure to do like an actual cocktail. Do you have like a go-to añejo?
I usually, when I have a pairing that requires me to make an añejo cocktail, I keep it classic. I just stay with the classics, and I don't want to add too much stuff to it. Totally. So I do the bare minimum, which is, I won't say old fashioned is the bare minimum, but it's definitely my to go to.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Like that's great.
Yes, we paddling.
The boat's floating. Why try?
I don't know. I love sours as well, right? But I just wouldn't mess with the añejo like that. The thought of cracking an egg white and saying, let's go sour, no. So I kind of like to keep it simple. And I think simple is sexy, you're still getting all those flavors, because that's what you're drinking it for, right? For flavor and the feel. So I want to taste, I want to enjoy the long finish. I want to enjoy all that. So if I'm part other flavors, it's going to mess it up. I would rather have those flavors in my food to enhance and elevate my palate.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great point, and such a, to remember. I think so often, especially where, we feel pressure to create new things or develop or innovate. And like, sometimes the classic is the best option, or even just drinking it neat can be kind of revolutionary, which is such a great idea. I love that, of having just a neat tequila with your taco. So is there anything else to talk about in this? We have a few questions, but is there anything else you want to share before I ask you about Tuesdays?
Just remember that everybody's taste buds are different, and try it. It doesn't work. Try again. Try something else. And also, when you are at the restaurant, also look at the notes on the recipes for your cocktails and the notes on the menu of your food that you're having. And before that fancy bartender suggests a glass of Bordeaux wine, you just look at the menu and find those mirroring ingredients, and you say, well, I will have such and such with such and such, because you see it on the menu. So it's very easy. And some of you have already been pairing food and you don't know it. You go out, like I said earlier on, you get wings and a beer. Where did that come from? Because your palate tells you that's what you want, right?
Totally.
Tacos and a margarita, where did that come from? So your palate's already built. You just got to build it up some more. And it's not that hard. You just if you go out a lot, you know what you like already, but the other thing is to get out your comfort zone and try other things and see if they pair very well.
Love that. Keep exploring. So just to recap, I want to say, so we have Blanco, which I learned from you. So like spicy flavors, fresh, vegetable forward. Reposado, like smoky stuff that's been grilled. You can either go vegetable or you could go like animal, either way, or like even, like stuff that's like smoky, I don't know, vegetable, animal. You could go meat, you could go, but like things that have some smoke to them, some savoriness, umami to them. And then for añejo, we're going like rich age, like braised, heavy umami flavor. So you're kind of moving up in the kind of the flavor complexity and intensity. Like
extra savory with the añejo because it can hold,
because it can hold up to it and it can work together. And you also get and you get all those baking notes and all that, like that complexity with the tequila. You can kind of pair with the braise of the meat.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's such a great like easy kind of go to, like, okay, if I'm thinking this, I would pair that. So someone has asked in the questions, I've been thinking about putting together a section on my spring cocktail menu for pairings. Maybe 3 to 4 items that include a bite or two of food that the bartender can just pull out of the fridge, which is completely prepared. So like an example of like a caprese skewer or something small. So do you have any ideas for things that are like a quick, simple bite that they don't have to like prep? Or that could be prepped in advance and just like taken out and handed to the guest? Yeah.
Quick things that you can eat from the bar. Well, I keep a lot of fruit. I keep a whole bunch of different kinds of fruit. Quick things. Aside from fruit, wow. Repeat the question again.
Yeah. So what they're working on is doing like a menu where you get a drink and you get like a small bite of something, but they don't have they don't have a kitchen, so they need to prep all the food, the small bites in advance. So that someone ordered like the pairing number 1, they could just make them the drink and then hand them the food. So they could prep it before the shift or whatever, but they didn't have time to like make it on the spot.
Okay, you got ceviche. It stays cold and it can be pre-prepped. You can do shrimp cocktail, cold. That's about it that I'm thinking from the top of my head. That's what I can think of right now.
Yeah, I would say like also like cheese, any sort of like salami or like charcuterie you could do.
Yes, yeah.
I love your note about fruit. Like it could be really fun to do like a fruit skewer with like a bunch of different fruits on there, and then you could pair them with the tequila, like with the Blanco, and do like a fun chocolate is delicious.
Almond.
And your point about salt is really great too, of like prepping. Maybe you have a salt that also pairs with the fruit or with the vegetable and also pairs with the drink. That could be really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm still in your idea. Whoever you are, I'm still in your idea.
I like it. Okay, cute. Okay, so tell me, so this all comes together. You do a taco event, is that right?
So I've started this Tanya Tuesday. So we're in a series of taco wars and cocktail wars. And today will be your favorite one, by the way, because today is the vegan wars.
Awesome. Vegans, not all pacifists. Some of them go to war. Okay, anyway, go on.
So I let them go to war. So I invite 2 chefs in Atlanta who are doing different things, and then they come on the show and they give their best taco for taco. And I have 4 judges that would judge the 4 tacos. I mean, both the tacos. And I just get to eat and talk, and I make a cocktail. Actually, I get to make a cocktail today, and I guess I'll be making, since I have this bottle.
Great.
I shall be making an Espolon cocktail tonight. So yeah, Taco Wars is so exciting because, these chefs, they come on their time, and I really appreciate it, for them to come on and showcase their talents. We all love tacos, everybody's excited on Tuesday because it's Taco Tuesday. So today is one of my favorites, having vegan wars. 2 weeks ago, we had duck wars. And prior to that, we had a seafood war. So we're building. So we're going to have one more round, and they're going to bring back the chefs that wasn't a great day for them that day,
like a redemption, like they can, like a rematch.
Yeah. They're coming back for redemption, and then we'll bring back the winners, and they're going to, fight it out, best cocktail, may the best cocktail. See, that's what I'm thinking about, cocktail.
May
May
the
the
best
best
taco.
taco win. Yeah.
And we have your right here. Actually, sorry, right here. We have your Instagram. So if y'all want to follow Tandi and get a little slice of her life, I mean, what a way to manifest your best life. Like to say, well, I like tacos. I'm going to make people talk to me about tacos and then eat tacos. It's pretty genius.
I know, right? I get to have tequila. I get to have tacos, different kinds of tacos and different chef styling. And it's amazing. So when you come to Atlanta, I'll make sure you come to one of the taco wars, and I'll make sure is vegan option is there for you.
Vegetarian's fine. I can go cheese too, just to be. I mean, you got some really great vegan food in Atlanta. There's some really cool. Who are you bringing on this week?
I have Chef Brianna and Chef Penelope. Chef Brianna is from Dope Girls Cook. And Penelope is actually a chef, but she's also a bartender. So last show she came on as making cocktails. So she's redeeming herself today with the tacos.
Okay.
So I'm excited. She has already been on the show though. She came on one of the vegan. It was not a competition. It was just a vegan taco day that day. So she came on that, and she pleased us with some fabulous vegan tacos. So I'm excited today.
So if anyone else has any questions for Tandi, you can throw them in the question. We only had that one so far. But otherwise, I'm just going to ask you, Tandi, what is your favorite taco? Do you have a favorite after all this taco eating?
Okay, so.
Oh my God, that's so hard. Your dream. Okay, you get a plate. It's your last plate ever. Like this is the end of the world. The meteor is coming. And they give you 3 tacos. There's going to be a plate with 3 tacos. What are those 3 tacos?
Okay, I got this one.
Okay.
One, the tuna tartare taco on the seaweed shell.
I think that's on mine. And okay, go on. Yes.
That one. I would take a short rib taco all day, and I would take a fried chicken taco with a sweet and sour honey glaze over it. That's 3.
Oh, that sounds so good. That should be like the city taco of Atlanta. That sounds so good.
with a peach salsa over it, or pineapple salsa. Fresh.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds so good. Okay, well now I'm inspired to go eat lunch. Is there anything else you want to share about your show, about tacos, about pairing tequila before we wrap up? I just want to make sure I ask you everything I can.
You know what? I think, I just want to say, just live life and enjoy, have a taco and a tequila pour every other day, not just on Tuesdays, It's so much other stuff going on outside, but take time to enjoy the small things. And taco is so small, right? So enjoy your tacos, enjoy your nachos, one nacho at a time, and just breathe and be kind. That's all. Great message.
Thank you, Tandi, so much for all of your wisdom, your insight, your flavor pairing education was so insightful. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm seeing some of your comments pop up. Thank you so much for joining and for being part of this.
I'm reading some of the comment. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was like Leo or something. Thank you everyone for joining. We have sessions every week with the Portland Cocktail Week, sponsored by Campari America. We're also bringing back Brown and Balanced. We're bringing up some new programs that are going to be really fun. So please join us again. We'll be back with you. We also have a lot of stuff in the Campari community. Please join us for those. We're teaching classes twice a week on our platform and would love to have you. So please follow at Campari Community. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can sign up for our mailing list. There's our link to our mailing list right now. We would love to be in touch with you. So I cannot believe it's been a year that we've been locked down, that we've been doing this, but happy 1 year. And I think we've finally maybe kind of somehow figured this stuff out. So our mailing list works. Please join us. And Tandi, thank you again. And I can't wait to come see you in Atlanta.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.